This afternoon, Gregor, it's the small matter of the league flag being flown, and there's the trophy coming on, and I think every Celtic fan must just be thrilled that this man we're seeing here, Sean Fallon, is coming on to do the honours.
Yeah, listen, that trophy might be something that we played for all season, but the man who's coming out to raise this flag here, and is getting a standing ovation from everyone in Paradise, is absolutely priceless. This is a true Celtic legend that we're seeing making his way out there with the chairman, Ian Bankier. So it's just a fantastic accolade for Sean in his 90th year.
And I don't know if you can hear, but the Celtic fans just singing happy birthday. Sean Fallon was 90 on Tuesday, July the 31st, and he is a Celtic great, a great player and a great assistant manager to Jock Stein, who brought such glorious triumphs to Celtic Park, and a wonderful gentleman. And it is a wonderful thing that the club have invited him to do the honours this afternoon alongside the chairman.
Listen, if I'm doing half as well as Sean, and if I'm half as fit and sharp and active at 60, never mind 90, I'll be very thankful. I mean, you can see him there, and the great thing for me about him is that he's been a supporter all his life, and he remains this committed Celtic man to this day.
Let's welcome our first team squad here in the right now. The 20 Premier League champions.
Well, the Celtic, there's a flag, a special flag to celebrate Celtic's 125th year, which has just been raised on the top of the North Stand at the moment. You can see just as the first team squad came out for the Championship flag being unveiled in the centre of the park. And it's important, Gregor, that the players get that acknowledgement. Scott Brown, who isn't playing this afternoon, leading the players out who won the title.
Yeah, it's a day that carries a great amount of symbolism for everyone connected with the club. You know, it's the day we're all waiting for all year round, and you know it's great to see the players getting this credit and show them what they're playing for this season.
Well, there's another countdown this time for the Championship flag. Well, pyrotechnics over Celtic Park, and let's hope there's fireworks on the park this afternoon. The league flag back in its rightful place here at Paradise. And Sean Fallon gets the applause and the acclaim he so richly deserves. Remarkable man. And always a man for the Celtic, and he's just so proud to have been part of this club.
Yeah, and I think, you know, that's something that strikes you about players of previous generations, and hopefully we'll continue to have great Celtic men associated with this club. You know, there's a few in the squad that have got that kind of personal attachment. We're seeing Anthony Stokes running in there now, and the likes of Paddy McCourt and Dylan McGeer. You know, they're guys who are very proud to represent and play for this football club, and hopefully that tradition will continue into the future.
Well, you think of Sean Fallon as a player, part of the team that won the double in 53-54. He scored the winning goal against Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup final. He played in that small game in 1957. I think we beat a team that used to exist over at Ibrox by 7-1. Then of course he joined up with his friend and former teammate Jock Stein, and you know, brought some glorious triumphs, 9 in a row, the European Cup, and he brought a lot of great names to this football club, did Sean Fallon.
I just think about that 7-1 game that you mentioned, Paul, and there's a great quote from him that I read during the week where he said, you know, he was asked about that game and the way that Rangers played, the way that Celtic played, he kind of had a wee chuckle to himself, and he said you could have drove the whole circus through the centre of that Rangers defence that day. And, you know, just for him to have played his part in a triumph like that, at a time when the club was going through difficult times, you know, where people realised it was really the arrival of Jock Stein that kind of galvanised things and started a new era and a new mindset for the football club. But there was some great players associated with Celtic in the era leading up to that, Jock Stein included, obviously, as a player. And you know, I think it's important that, and I think Celtic supporters do recognise and remember their achievements as well.
Well, they certainly do, and as I say, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that the club invited Sean Fallon along today for this title triumph. And as a Celtic fan, first and foremost, I know he was absolutely thrilled to take centre stage. 90 years old, the Aberdeen players now just appearing. I'm not sure if there'll be just a guard of honour, and I have to say that Celtic Park is packed, Gregor, and yeah, the Aberdeen fans have come down. I think they've sold out their allocation of 1,300. Interestingly, I was watching Aberdeen warm up. They're wearing their red tops, white shorts and red socks, and Celtic of course will wear the hoops. And it's interesting that for some reason the white, you know, it used to be you couldn't wear the same colour of shorts, which is just a nonsense anyway. But it's a nice gesture as well that the Aberdeen players are lining up just as a wee guard of honour on this opening day of the new season to welcome the champions onto the park.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, I've got a great amount of respect for Aberdeen as a football club and an organisation. There's some fantastic people, the likes of big Malcolm Panton that works in their PR department up there. Great people that have got a real love for their football club and a passion for the football club in the SPL, and that's what the league needs now.
Well, it's interesting, Mark Henderson in the match programme for today interviewed Danny McGrain, the legendary Danny McGrain, and asked him about the 80s when, you know, Scottish football was really vibrant, both domestically and in Europe. Of course, Aberdeen won the European Cup Winners' Cup in 1983, and at that time Celtic and Aberdeen were vying for the major honours. Dundee United were very strong as well, and it may be that you know, this could be the case again. I know Aberdeen have real aspirations. They are a big club and they should be in the top six. They should be challenging for honours. And when you look at the squad that Craig Brown's assembled, that's why this afternoon is probably a good thing for Celtic ahead of a European tie. They're going to be tested because Aberdeen aren't here for the party. They're here to try and get some points.
Yeah, and I think this Aberdeen team is going to be a team that rises to the challenge this season. I wonder, you know, I'm not tempting fate when I say this. I'm looking forward to seeing how the likes of Scott Vernon respond to the challenge this season, because goals are really what separate teams in the SPL. You know, if a goal scorer emerges for a club, usually that is the club that rises up the table. Aberdeen have got plenty of people now in that side, the likes of Johnny Hayes, Stephen Hughes, and of course Niall McGinn, who's wearing the number 10 jersey for Aberdeen today. You know, these are guys who can put goals on a plate for centre forwards. Scott Vernon's a big target man, so, you know, are Aberdeen going to rise to the challenge? I think they've got the players to do that this season, and they've certainly got enough experience in their management staff as well. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to this season, Paul, and seeing how the likes of Aberdeen do, and seeing how the likes of Dundee United do as well. They performed well in Europe the other night, putting up a real fight against a very expensive Dynamo Moscow team. So, you know, I'm optimistic, definitely, as we stand in the brink of this new season. And there's the Celtic players in the tunnel, and great to see a new big display has been fitted in the tunnel down there. That was originally Gordon Strachan's idea. He wanted a picture of us raising the championship trophy at the end of the season up in the tunnel to remind any team we were playing against that they were here in the home of the champions. And finally, as we run out of defending champions, we've got the new display up there again.
Well, as you can probably see from those pictures, Georgios Samaras will be the captain this afternoon. Scott Brown, of course, picked up a knock against Helsinki. He had a powerful game against the Finnish side on Wednesday night, and hopefully he'll be available for Wednesday. But it's Georgios Samaras who's captain as the wonderful, wonderful Celtic song blasts out over a packed Paradise, and the champions make their first bow of season 2012-13. And again, as I say, a nice gesture. The Aberdeen players giving the guard of honour and applause for the champions. It is a nice start to the season, but I'm sure all the good feeling will be gone once the first whistle goes. I've just saw a few handshakes of Gavin Ray there, just a handshake with his former Cardiff City teammate Joe Ledley. We'll go through the teams again. It's Callum Murray who's going to be the referee this afternoon, and Aberdeen, as I say, wearing the red top, white shorts and red socks this afternoon. And it's Jamie Langfield in goals, it's Ryan Jack, Russell Anderson, Gavin Ray, Andrew Considine, Scott Vernon, Niall McGinn, Johnny Hayes, Isaac Osborne, Gary Naismith and Stephen Hughes, and it's Russell Anderson who is the captain. The experienced Aberdeen defender, had 11 years at Aberdeen, made over 300 appearances between 96 and 2007. He's back, rejoined in March, and he's the captain. Gregor, if you want to do the honours with the Celtic starting 11 this afternoon.
Yes, I will. It's Fraser Forster in goals. We'll get Adam Matthews at right back. Victor Wanyama will be lining up alongside Thomas Ronja in the centre of defence, with Emilio Izagiri playing at left back. We have a midfield four that reads Chris Commons, Beram Kayal, Joe Ledley and possibly Georges Samaras lining up in that left hand flank. And we also have up front Anthony Stokes and Gary Hooper. On the bench for Celtic today is Lucas Onuska, Kelvin Wilson, Paddy McCourt, the Derry Pelly, Michael Lustig, Daryl Murphy, Dylan McGee and Philip Twardzik.
Well, it's a brave new dawn in Scottish football, and like Gregor Kyle, I'm sure like every one of you listening on Celtic TV wherever you are in the world, you're very optimistic and positive about this new exciting season in Scottish football. Celtic, of course, will go into today's game and go into the season as favourites, but I think the one thing you can be assured of with any team that Neil Lennon puts out in the park is there'll be absolutely no complacency. Georgios Samaras will take the first huddle of the new season and listen to the roar of the champions.